Hello and welcome to Books of Blood. My name is John, and as you can see, I am back. I took around 2 weeks off of my channel. I posted a video about it saying, hey, I'm going to take some time off. I don't know if I'm going to be back or not, but I have decided that yes, I am back. And to start things off, I've got a 10-book book haul here. So recently, Flame Tree Publishing, I think every year they hold some kind of sale around the time of the 4th of July, and the last two I've missed out on. So I thought, you know what, I don't want to miss out on this one. Anyway, they had hardcover books for $5 a piece, and these are books that the regular price on them is anywhere from $24.95 to about $26.95. So $5 is not a bad deal. Now, I do have one complaint about this. I ordered 11 books. I only got 10 of them. One of the books was supposed to be Ramsey Campbell's The Hungry Moon, and they didn't send it to me. In fact, when you look at the invoice, it's got a 0 beside it. I don't know if they charged me for it. I went to their website and I filled in their little inquiry thing and sent it, and I get a thing in my email saying a delivery failure. I'm like, okay, what did I do? So I went back and it said that the CAPTCHA thing was wrong, which I don't understand that because I'm not a robot, obviously. And then when I filled it out again, it said my email address was not valid. It wouldn't give me an email address unless I just typed the entire thing out instead of copying and pasting. And I still get a delivery failure on it. So finally I said, okay, I'll contact them by email. I contacted them by email yesterday, and I have still not heard anything from them. I don't know if I'll hear anything from them on Monday, since I did send it on a Saturday. Today is Sunday. This video is going to post on Monday. So yeah, I'm hoping to hear something about it, because I do want the book. You know, I just, and I don't like having to go through all this runaround. All right. So anyway, I do have 10 books here. Several of them are going to be by the same author, Jonathan Janz, but then I've got some by Ramsey Campbell, Glenn Rolfe, and Hunter Shea. So I've got these, and I think I've got them in alphabetical order. So let's go ahead and start with the first one. So the first one I got is The Influence, and this is by Ramsey Campbell. Now I've got an older edition of this book, but I really kind of like this one. I thought this would look really nice on my shelf. So this is The Influence, Ramsey Campbell. Let me read it off here. Queenie is the aging matriarch of the Faraday family, and even death can't break her hold over her young great-niece, Rowan. She's buried with a locket that contains a lock of Rowan's hair. Soon, Rowan begins to act strangely. She begins to excel in school and spends more and more time with her new friend, a mysterious, uncannily intelligent girl named Victoria, which happens to be Queenie's real name. As Rowan becomes more like Queenie every day, unexplained occurrences and bizarre deaths, all somehow linked to Queenie, Rowan feels she is slowly slipping away, becoming invisible to everyone she knows, but by the time her parents realize the danger, will it already be too late to save her? And that's The Influence. It's a new cover. If you see here, it says now a major Netflix movie. I haven't watched the Netflix movie yet. I'm going to have to. I read the book. I've already read The Influence. I loved it. So I'm going to have to watch the movie eventually. I just haven't gotten around to it. All right. Okay, so now we're moving into the Jonathan Janz section of this small book haul, this Flame Tree Press book haul, if you want to call it. So the first one we've got is The Sorrows. Okay. Let's see what this one's about. Ben Shadlin and Eddie Blaze are the hottest young music composers in Hollywood. Fresh off an Oscar nomination, they've just been chosen to score a big-budget horror movie by Lee Stanley, the most demanding director in the film business. But Ben, the creative half of the duo, hasn't written a note since his wife divorced him and got custody of their 3-year-old son. Eddie hears about an opportunity that he's sure will be just the inspiration Ben needs to work on a horror film. The Sorrows is an island off the coast of Northern California. Its castle has been uninhabited since a series of gruesome murders in 1925. It's owned by Chris Blackwood, the gambling-addicted heir to the Blackwood fortune who desperately needs money. To get it, he is willing to let the young composer stay for a month in Castle Blackwood. Ben and Eddie arrive at the castle along with their friends, Claire Harden, an aspiring composer, and Eva Rosales, Lee Stanley's gorgeous assistant. But what they find is more horrific than any movie. Something is waiting for them in the castle. A malevolent being has been trapped for nearly a century, and now he's ready to feed. And that's The Sorrows by Jonathan Janz. Okay. Alright, so now let's move on. Next one by Jonathan Janz, and interestingly enough, that last one was called The Sorrows. This one is Castle of Sorrows. Okay, what we got about it here? A year ago, composer Ben Shadlin traveled to the Sorrows, a reportedly haunted island off the California coast, to find inspiration for a horror movie music score. Instead, he found madness, murder, and an ancient evil. His family barely survived the nightmare, and Ben swore he'd never return to the island or the accursed castle. Now Ben's infant daughter has been kidnapped, and Ben is convinced that the malevolent creature that lives in the catacombs beneath Castle Blackwood is responsible. Ben joins 3 federal agents, a medium, and others in an attempt to save his daughter. But what awaits them is far worse than they ever imagined. Ben thought he knew what true horror was, but the new visitors have brought with them their own personal ghost, and the beast of Castle Blackwood won't be sated until it is feasted on the blood of Ben Shadlin and everyone dear to him. So that sounds, I didn't realize this, but that sounds like a sequel to The Sorrows. Okay, so I gotta remember that. Make sure and read them in the right order. But anyway, that's Castle of Sorrows, Jonathan Janz. Alright, next up by Jonathan Janz, we've got, I've talked about this one before, The Darkest Lullaby. And if I remember, this one sounds really awesome, so let's go ahead and read the synopsis and find out. The old house waited. For years there had been rumors that the owner, Lilith Martin, had been part of an unholy cult. People spoke of blasphemous rituals, black rites filled with blood, sex, and sacrifices. Then Lilith died and the house sat empty until now. Lilith's nephew, Chris, and his wife, Ellie, are moving in. Ellie isn't happy about living in such a dark, foreboding place, but she wants to get pregnant, and this house has a lot more room to raise a baby than their apartment, even if it does looks like something out of a horror movie. Unfortunately, she and Chris will soon learn that Lilith has other plans for them. The reach of Lilith's power is unimaginable, and she will need innocent blood to make her resurrection complete. And that is The Darkest Lullaby. You guys were kids, when you were little babies or whatever, did they sing you lullabies? My mom didn't. My mom didn't sing me one. My dad sure as hell didn't sing me a lullaby, you know. I don't know, would I have turned out differently if they had, you know? I mean, I don't know. I don't think so. I mean, but yeah, it's always nice to sing to your kids, isn't it? You know, I mean, like, just sing songs to your kids, like, you know, when you're putting them to sleep, sing like, you know, Enter Sandman or something like that. You know, something soothing. Anyway, alright, so next up by Jonathan Janz, we've got The Nightmare Girl. That's a creepy kid on the cover. Okay. Alright. When Joe Crawford confronts a young mother abusing her toddler in a gas station parking lot, he doesn't know the little boy, Stevie, will end up in a foster home. He doesn't know that the mother will soon burn herself alive in grief and rage, nor does he know that she belonged to an ancient and monstrous fire cult who will stop at nothing to get revenge. After the mother's suicide, Joe is tormented by the guilt of leaving a child orphaned, but soon his family are plagued by inexplicable events. One night, Joe smells ashes in his daughter's nursery, and a kindly old couple whose house Joe renovated is found butchered ritualistically. Pushed to his limit, Joe becomes friends with the local police chief, Daryl Copeland, who tells him more details of Stevie's abuse and the deadly fire cult his mother belonged to. He learns a terrifying group of killers are coming for his family next. Together they discover the cult is not just planning their revenge on Joe, but they want Stevie back too, and they'll do anything to get him. Their horrific, violent onslaught is only just beginning, and Joe must do everything he can to keep his family and Stevie safe. And that is The Nightmare Girl. Jonathan Janz. Move her in there. Ooh, I'm creepy. Ah, creepy. Ooh, look at me. I'm so... Anyway. Alright. So, next from Jonathan Janz. We're getting toward the end. We're getting toward the end of Jonathan Janz books, okay? Alright, okay. Alright, so next one we got, and this is a really creepy freaking cover too. This is Savage Species. Yes, Savage Species. Alright, so Jesse thinks he's caught a break when his newspaper assigns him to cover the opening weekend of the Peaceful Valley Nature Preserve along with Emma, the girl of his dreams. But the construction of the sprawling state park has stirred an evil that has lain dormant for nearly 100 years, and every man, woman, and child unlucky enough to be attending the grand opening are about to encounter the most horrific creatures to ever walk the earth. Clearly, lives... Excuse me, wait. Oh, man, this is like some really dark print here, so I'm trying to read this, alright? I'm sorry. Charlie lives nearby with her husband, a hotshot women's basketball coach with a penchant for seducing his assistants and their 3 young children. When her baby is kidnapped by one of the creatures, she turns to contractor Sam Bledsoe for help. Soon, Sam, Charlie, her husband, and the newest assistant coach find themselves underground and on the trail of Charlie's baby. Here, their path converges with Jesse and a motley crew of survivors taking refuge in the caves below the park in desperate hope of finding a way out. They have yet to learn how monstrous the creatures are and how cunning. Together, they will try to save Charlie's baby and escape with their lives while taking down as many of the monsters as they can. But the creatures are hungry. They delight in human suffering, and they will stop at nothing to prove that they are the dominant species. And that is Savage Species by Jonathan Janz. Another creepy cover. I'm creepy. Yes, I'm so creepy. I'm too creepy for this book. Too creepy. Alright, sorry. Never mind. That's bad. I don't know what's coming over me. Well, it's really strange. Anyway, the last Jonathan Janz book we've got is Wolfland. This is a werewolf novel. You guys know me. You know I love werewolf books. So naturally, I'm going to try to find a werewolf book. This small town of Lakeview offers little excitement for Dwayne, Savannah, and their friends. They're about to endure their 10-year high school reunion when their lives are shattered by the arrival of an ancient, vengeful evil, the werewolf. The first attack leaves 7 dead and 4 wounded. And though the beast remains on the loose and eager to spill more blood, the sleepy town is about to face an even greater terror. For the 4 victims of the werewolf's fury are changing. Glenn, Melody, Bobby, known as Weezer, and Joyce are experiencing unholy desires and unimaginable cravings. Having been a vegetarian all her life, Joyce finds herself craving meat, and even stranger, her eyesight has improved and her skin is more sensitive. It's almost like she has a 6th sense. Glenn can't stop eating meat either, and he's not complaining, but the large gash the beast left him with is healing really fast. Once they transform into furry, powerful, fearsome quadruped werewolves, they will prey on the innocent. They will act on their bestial desires. Soon, they'll plunge the entire town into a nightmare. Lakeview is about to become Wolfland. Yes, Wolfland. Werewolves. Look, werewolf. No, their wolf. Their castle. Alright, I don't know what is wrong with me today. Alright, I apologize. Actually, you know what? I don't. Because I'm taking some advice, and is advice from a fellow booktuber, Pax Panic, and that advice she gave is don't give a shit. So guess what? I don't give a shit. Alright, anyway, let's move on. I got 3 more books here. The next one is by Glenn Rolfe. And this guy is always reliable. Every book I've read by him or every novella I have enjoyed. Anyway, this is Until Summer Comes Around. Love, Lost, Betrayal, and the Undead. Okay. The Undead. Like 7-Up, the Uncola. 7-Up, the Undead. Wah, wah, wah. Old Orchard Beach, Maine, summer of 1986. The pier, the tourist, and the blazing sunshine. It's all perfect for something in need of warm blood. For 15-year-old Rocky, the summer is when the beachside town he lives in comes to life. But this summer brings her. When a mysterious dark-haired girl named November walks into his world, Rocky's life is forever changed. The young couple quickly fall under the spell of summer love, but not everyone approves. November's brother, Gabriel, is the keeper of the family's horrifying secret, and Big Brother is always watching. Locals are missing, worry turns to fear, and the community is on edge. Still, the beaches are packed and the Ferris wheel turns as tourists pour into town by the thousands. Many of them will never leave. And that is Until Summer Comes Around, Glenn Rolfe. Alright. Okay. Alright. Finally, I got 2 more books here, and these are both by Hunter Shea. This first one is Misfits. Okay. And on the bottom here it says Time for Retribution. So it kind of sounds like a revenge novel of some sort. In Millbury, everyone knows the legend of the Melonheads, a race of feral, flesh-eating creatures that shun human interaction and prey on those who dare to wander into the deep woods outside of town. During the height of the 90s grunge era, 5 high school friends living on the fringe and driven to breaking point. When one of them is brutally raped by a drunk townie, sorry, trigger that, okay? They decide to take matters into their own hands. Maybe this night one band of misfits can help the other. But the friends make one fatal mistake. They kill a melonhead and now they are hunted. The melonheads have eyes all over town. They're watching and they're patient. Maybe some legends are meant to be feared for a reason. Right. The melonheads. Now that's a creepy name. I mean, that just, you know, you think of like Stewie from Family Guy or something like that. He had that football head or had that melon head or whatever. All right. Anyway, that is Misfits, and it's by Hunter Shea. Okay, and finally by Hunter Shea, I've got Faithless, and it says something is in the house down here. Something is in the house. Faithless. How do you survive hearing your family being brutally murdered over the phone when you can do nothing to save them? For Father Raul Figueroa, all faith and hope are lost. Turning away from the priesthood, he retreats to an empty farmhouse in upstate New York, hoping to drink himself to oblivion. But instead of oblivion, Raul finds only terror. Strange sounds fill the house day and night. His dead wife and children call to him, begging him to join them. But can it really be them? Someone or something is trying to reach out to him, or is he losing his grip on reality? When his childhood friend Felix comes to visit, things take an even darker turn. The deeper they dig into the mystery, the closer they get to hell, literally breaking loose. And that is Faithless, Hunter Shea. Alright, so that's going to do it for, like I said, a relatively small book haul, 10 books, most of them by Jonathan Jans. Yes, and like I said, I'm back. I'm going to continue my channel. And like I said, Pax Panic did a video a few weeks or so ago, And in it, she basically gave advice, and that was just don't give a shit. So, I'm going to quit worrying about, my view count. I'm going to quit worrying like whether if I post this video and I get a lot of views and I post this video and I don't get a lot of views. I'm just going to post what I want to post. I do plan on doing movie reviews on occasion. I don't know how often I'll do them. And also, it's going to be one of those things where if I read a book and I decide to review it, then you know what? Guess what? I will review it. And you will see that review. And if not, I'll give it a rating on Goodreads. And that's all you will see of it. Okay? Or hear of it or whatever. So, I'm not going to kill myself for this, and that's not literally. I don't mean that literally. Sorry about that. I'm not going to wear myself thin for this channel. I'm doing this channel because I want to have fun with it. I don't want to fret over every single fucking thing about this channel. So that's how things are going to be, I guess, from now on, And if I lose viewers, then, or subscribers, you know what? Guess what? I lose subscribers. I can't help that. I can't stop anybody from going, you know what? I don't like this guy's channel anymore. I'm going to leave. Bye. Unsubscribe. Click, click. Anyway, I can't stop that. So, if you like my channel, then you'll stay. And if you don't like it, then you won't. It's the same with, anybody else's channel that I watch. And I have actually unsubscribed from quite a number of people here lately, because I just don't have the time to watch their channel, and their content is not necessarily something that I'm that interested in. So if I stayed subscribed to you, I am interested in you. Anyway, I'm going to stop babbling, okay? That is it for this video. Thank you for watching, and as I've always said, take care and stay scared. Bye-bye.